Most of us would say that we could benefit from better sleep, but what does it actually take to accomplish that?
As I'm so tired saying this,
Oh.
this Sleep Awareness Week, we're getting personalized tips from Dr. Brant Hassler. He's an associate professor of psychiatry at Pitt's Center for Sleep and Circadian Science. What an interesting role to play in all of this. Tell us what you do on a day-to-day basis.
So I'm mostly a researcher, and we're very lucky in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of sleep research going on every kind of topic you could think of. And then I spend one morning a week being a sleep clinician, so trying to directly help people with their sleep problems.
Oh my gosh, and we have plenty of them.
Absolutely. And that kind of ties me back. I feel like I never had issues with sleeping up until, I would say, past maybe 5-7 years.
Children?
Yeah, that's exactly. That's so weird. My daughter will be 7. But I will say, do you see an incline in these, sleep irregularities and problems that people are having right now?
I think, especially, since the pandemic, we had a big bump in people having more sleep problems. Stresses of daily life have gone up in general, and we certainly see sleep problems go along with that. Absolutely. And I think we just have a lot of, people have busy and busier lives, a lot of competing priorities, and sleep time sometimes gets sort of short shrift in that case.
Yeah. Well, we were hoping that we could kind of present some problems that we have that I know that other people at home will also have. So for me, I get 7 hours of sleep and I'm awake. It doesn't matter if it's 4 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. It depends on when I go to sleep now. But as soon as I hit 7 hours, I'm up. Mm-hmm. Is that a normal thing? Like our body has this internal clock, like you've reached your threshold for sleep? Yeah,
so it's a great question. And I'm going to introduce two concepts. So one is sleep need. And so everybody has sort of a sleep need, a certain amount of sleep that you need in order to feel rested and restored.
Is that different for everybody? Because we hear this 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah,
but
so it can vary from person to person. It changes across the lifespan. For most adults, it's around 7 to 8. So I would say...
You nailed it!
There we go.
So if you feel rested and restored, that sounds... Oh.
Okay. but it's okay.
But if you need her at 3 a.m., you now have a friend who's awake.
Yeah, so the other part then is that biological clock. So you also want to be sleeping on the schedule that's in line and in time with your biological clock. And are you more of a morning lark, more of a night owl? And if you're not on the right schedule, that can also influence how rested you feel.
Got it. Okay.
Absolutely. So mine has to be racing thoughts. I cannot turn them off. If I'm laying in bed and I'm about to go to bed, you're closing your eyes, you're talking yourself into ending the day, but then the to-do lists start. And then I want to start said to-do list. How can I truly put an end to the madness?
Sure, and this is again a common problem. We all live these very busy lives, or have so many commitments throughout the day. Laying down at night is often the first quiet time we've had all day, and so it's natural that these things are rising up. So, there's a few things that we recommend. So one is if you can build in a wind down time before bed. We recommend that. So getting a little bit of that quiet time before you actually get into bed, because we know that spending time in bed, if you're experiencing those worries, that anxiety, that frustration, et cetera, is bad in itself. Mm-hmm. If that's not enough, there's techniques like using what we call scheduled worry, where sort of taking that time and say maybe 2 hours before bed, take 15 minutes.
No, but
allow yourself to go through the cycle.
Exactly.
Yes, my type A brain right now is like, I could schedule this. That'd be fantastic. And then when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
I love that's great advice.
So one thing with Mikey, and I know that Mikey has had some similar sleep issues, the worrying and being up at night, a little bit of insomnia, but one of the things is she cannot sleep in temperatures above 60 degrees. We've teased her about
the Arctic
because she sets her thermostat to like 55 when she goes to sleep. Is this also a common thing, and is that helpful or not?
Yeah, so temperature is another complex thing in terms of sleep. In general, our body temperature is going down at night, and that drop in temperature actually is part of getting sleepy. And we know that sleeping under cooler temperatures in general is better for most people. And 68 degrees is often touted as sort of the ideal time.
Right.
But it varies from person to person. And so it may just be, again, sort of, for Mikey, that a bit cooler temperatures is better.
What works for her. Oh my gosh, my husband is going to hear this, and he's going to hear 68 degrees, and he's going to feel so vindicated. Because every night he turns that down to 68. I'm like, it's so cold in here.
I know.
What is the most common sleep issue that you find with people who are coming in and doing some of your research that is something that we can easily fix?
Yeah, so in some ways I might divide it into two categories, and I think, a lot of people, it's just too many competing priorities in their life, and they're not carving out enough time for the sleep that they need. That can be a challenge in itself. How do you make that time given that you have all these obligations to work, family, friends, your own recreation and downtime. And so just fitting it in can be a challenge. For the people that come in to see me with insomnia, sometimes that they're actually devoting too much time to their sleep.
Oh.
And if their sleep need is 7 hours, but they're spending 9 hours in bed, that actually can contribute to the problem.
Right. And I feel like it's a vicious cycle of worrying. I'm not going to get enough sleep tonight.
Right.
I'm not going to, and so you wind up spiraling. Thank you so much. I feel like we could talk to you forever.
Oh my God, same, and this was so helpful. Thank you so much.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, great.
Find out more about the University of Pittsburgh Center for Sleep and Circadian Science on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.